everybody, it's me, Patrice, and I am here today with Lydia Kolka from Divine Designs, and she is our stager, and we're going to do a little walkthrough to figure out where we are in the construction process and also to really talk about what we want to do to stage it, because staging is super important in the Bay Area, and that's where we make the home look very lived in and give it that whole warm feel so that people want to make it their home. So I can't wait to hear your great ideas.
Let's get going.
Let's go. Okay, so we are in here and you'll see we've made some changes already.
Absolutely.
Definitely painted, taken the texture off, so
yeah,
I'd
I
love
mean,
to hear what you
having
have to
flat
say.
walls always makes the space look just brighter. It's just a really nice, pretty look for buyers. And having the nice hardwood floors. I mean, this is the ultimate thing you want when it comes to staging. You want it to be set like this because all staging is going to do is put the makeup on and really create that emotional connection with your buyer or the people that are walking in. They're going to feel like this is their home, they could live here. Also, when you have a little space like this and it's smaller, you want to showcase it with the correct size furniture. Otherwise, if you put furniture that's too big, the space is going to look even smaller.
Absolutely. And again, we did take the texture off. As she mentioned, we changed the baseboard, we changed the doors and the hardware. We're going to keep the cabinets, but they're going to change the appliances as well. So we're being really strategic about which things that we chose to do.
Right.
Going for that modern, that clean look so that it's really appealing.
Yeah, and then it makes it, for a stager and a designer, it really makes it easy for us to really bring this to life. Anytime you have to deal with challenges or if we had a darker paint or a dated paint, things just don't look as fresh and new. But when you have this and you could go ahead and use the old hardwood floors and create that sweet, like that feeling of that old but new. These homes are older, but you still get the new feel of it.
Yeah, I always love that. I think it really is very important to kind of respect what you already have and then add a little element to it.
Absolutely.
And again, on a space like this where it is so small, it'll be really nice to define the spaces. And don't you agree it really matters on things like the colors and the choices that you make on such a small place as well? You can make mistakes on a bigger home. On a small one, it really is.
And you know, white right now is trending. That's what everybody wants to see. They want white, bright, airy, really fresh. And so you could create some darkness with your furniture and your decorations, but having the clean slate really gives you a base to start with that makes it so easy to just make it look beautiful.
Well, I can't wait to see what you're going to do with it.
Yeah, can't wait. You know, when you have a tight space, you really want to use the appropriate size furniture. I think that's the biggest mistake people do.
And again, in a small space, it would be nice if you talked a little bit about texture of furniture and color as well. So
yeah, the safest bet when decorating, or I do it with staging, but also just in decorating in general, if it's your home, is to do a neutral palette and add in color if that's what you want, or textures or seasons or whatever it is. You could change out the pillows, you could change out some artwork. But if you buy a couch that's green or red, you're not gonna be able to, you're gonna be stuck with that style or theme, or it's a big commitment. You want to feel like you're walking through a house and there's a flow. You never wanna feel like it's chopped off or we change the style when we go into the room and make it more contemporary, and then this room's, you just don't, you want a flow. So you want someone to, again, it's an emotional investment. You walk in, you wanna feel like you could live there, you could love it.
Because I can't tell you how many times we've gone into a house and we've kind of gone through and changed just a few things and spent a couple $1,000s and they say, oh my God, I should have done this years ago.
Right.
Constantly, it's amazing.
Yeah, I
the
have
difference.
clients all the time. We do owner-occupied staging, and they'll have beautiful pieces. They'll have restoration hardware, pottery barn, all these beautiful things, but they just don't know how to tie it together. They didn't put the rug down. They bought a beautiful couch, put a coffee table, didn't get the rug down, didn't put lamps in. It's those little things, those little tweaks that really pull the whole house together and give it a flow.
So this is our primary room, and we do have a full bath.
Yeah, so in a space like this, again, when you're dealing with older homes, you're not gonna get the huge master bedrooms that everyone's imagining having with the huge closets, but you could still really get a lot of space in here. It's really about picking the right size of the bed. A lot of people want a king and that's what they want, but in a space like this, a queen is just gonna give you a lot more room for your dressers and spacing to be able to live in it, comfortably. So when you have a space like this in between homes, it is really important to showcase what it can be, because this is really a selling point for any buyer to have this really open space in an area like this where you don't get a lot of land and you don't get a lot of space, but really it is about creating that feel and making people feel like this is where I want to invite my family and friends.
Absolutely. This actually is what I think the selling point is. It's great to have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It's a bonus to have a unit in the back, but this kind of a courtyard, a patio, we're in an urban area, right? You want to have that privacy. We don't have a lot of big yards. So if you're going to have, especially if you're having a combined living space with two different family members, it's great to have a communal space. I also love that we have a beautiful tree here, and it'll be really nice to get to blend what we already have.
Some shade, right? Yeah, so obviously this is a huge selling point for any home, is a casita. Whether you're gonna have family over and you just want a space for them to have separate aside from yours, or you just want to rent this space. So this is a huge selling point. The fact that it has a kitchen, you have your living potential bedroom space, and even a kitchen nook.
So it'll be mostly a main room seating area, and then thankfully we do have room for a little kitchen table.
Yeah, and then you have the bathroom, and it kind of goes back into the kitchen there. And even in the back, you do have a little patio back there, which is also great too for anyone that's potentially if you are gonna rent this space out.
Absolutely, and again, for when we go to sell it, it's nice that the person who is back here will have some private space. So we have a great communal area, and then they also have the private space in the back.
Correct. Let's check it out.
Let's take a look. Excellent. So this space was formerly a garage, and it's been converted, and I just love the beams that are in here. Yeah. Thank goodness it's not yellow. It was a very, very bright yellow before.
Yeah, this definitely changes the feel, having it white, having the beams. And I mean, what's awesome about this space is, again, it can be used to interpretation of what you actually need for your personal self when you're buying. But we're gonna stage it as a family room kind of game, also office space. Someone could really envision having a separate private space if they need it. And you just want to stage it so they actually see how big the space is. Because this is actually a really big space, but you don't really see that until you see furniture placed in it.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. Well, Lydia, thank you so much for coming. It's so important that we have our designer, our stager, come early on. I realize that the project is not perfect.
Correct. As designers, we could look past these things, but it is important because sometimes there's very tiny little things that you could make changes with, and it really does change the space, and it changes the feel of the entire home, and it really just takes it up. Those little minute details really do change how people view the home.
Yeah, and again, we really want to have, this is a whole project. We're not looking for lipstick on a pig, so it really makes a difference for you to see, what are we doing? What's our intention? I love when you ask the questions of who's your buyer, what's your target? Yeah. Because all of that makes a difference. It makes a difference for the contractor, it makes a difference for the stager, and to be honest, it makes a difference for me as well as an agent so that I can present the property. So
absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming and spending time. I can't wait to see what we do.
Yeah.
Just wait, you guys, it's going to be completely transformed. You've seen it before with yellow doors and yellow walls. You've seen 6 couches. We've got everything. And when she's all said and done, this place is just going to feel just right. It's going to feel like the perfect home, and the buyers are going to be fighting for it. It'll be great.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure.
Next episode, Patrice and Derek take a look at all the finalized improvements to both the main house and guest units. They've come a long way and are very proud of unveiling the finished product. You won't want to miss out on the next episode of Unscripted and Totally Flipped.